Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Automated, a podcast about technology and how it can make life a little bit better. My name is Cody, and today I'm happy to be back here in the hot seat, and I'm going to talk about the Big Four because I think that it's important to just kind of be paying attention to there went the pen. To what the Big Four are doing. The Big Four being Apple, Amazon, Google, and Facebook, because they're always up to something. And if we can kind of check up on them and see what they're doing now, we're probably going to have a pretty good guess on what they're doing in the future. They're all four of these companies have a pretty big influence on technology and the stuff that affects us every day, all the stuff that we buy, all the stuff that we conduct business with, that we interact with socially on the internet, that we search with, that we buy from, and you're probably using a device that has something to do with those two companies to access information from the internet, whether you know it or not. If you're on Android, there's a lot of Google stuff backing you up, and even on Apple stuff, you're still supported by Google and obviously Apple. I don't know anymore. I didn't look it up, but I know previously part of iCloud runs off of Google infrastructure, and a lot of the apps that you use every day that you download are communicating with infrastructure that's property of Google and property of Amazon, and you're accessing it with your Apple phone. So all of these four companies have a lot to do with what's going on and even a lot of the rules that are going to get made as we progress into the future with technology. They're going to have influence on how those rules get made because obviously they're the biggest players, so they carry the most weight in those conversations and arguments, where they're getting stuff established that's pretty much defining what you're able to do with the tools that they're creating and what they're able to do with the tools that they're creating for us. So it's a super big hot mess that, it'll always be a super big hot mess. And all you can do is think about forward progress as they're defining all of this stuff. And just to kind of understand that, we might make a couple rules that could get weird, if we're not paying attention. So, but anyways, all that to be said, I just want to kind of just look at what they're doing and kind of define what each company is about, like their mission. They don't really, share a mission directly with you. They might share more of like an individual, like the PR version of what they need you to hear about their service. But the reality is that Facebook is, a much larger company than just us getting on and having a status box and a like button and us getting likes. That's part of it. And having Instagram, a place where you can upload a picture and get likes for it, that's part of it. But like they just not got rid of the likes on Instagram, but they really gotten rid of that number that was like the biggest driving force of like attention and the attention that you give to people on social media, they're able to leverage that potentially in other ways. And that's all part of the game. That's how it works. So, but you can just kind of see with how they're making decisions and changing stuff that you can pretty much pick up on what they're trying to do. Apple just spent I gotta get the number right, $200 million on a new automated intelligence business that specializes in local processing of automated of artificial intelligence. And the reason that Apple is focused on getting local processing for AI is because Apple doesn't want to handle the data. They don't want to deal with it. I think that Apple's kind of watching what's going on, and Apple sees that maybe here in the future there's going to start being, penalties for moving data, or not a penalty, but maybe just a cost, a fee for moving private data. So maybe Apple's heavily investing themselves into being able to keep the data locally and not have to transmit your data, far into the internet, into one big computer to analyze it and then send it back to you. Now, what I mean by that is, like, we may have gotten into at the smart home introduction series, is that these companies are taking the data and sending it to their computer infrastructure, and that infrastructure is what's making processing the information that we're sending it. I know that sounds super vague, but so for voice, it takes a lot of computing power to translate what a bunch of noise is, audio waveforms, into a command on the internet. So when you say, "Hey Echo" or "Hey Siri," your device is sending your voice recording outside of the phone to a computer that can process it, determine what you said, and then it can send that information back to the phone and say, "This is what this person said, this is what you need to do." And then it sends the actual coded command in the phone. So that's what I mean by data. And that's more than just voice. The heavy thing right now is voice. Because right now, if there's any technology that's making a decision for us, it's most likely getting sent out to a computer as well. So not only is the voice data getting sent out to a big supercomputer that's working for all of us and determining what we're saying and translating it into computer code, you also have just like decision making processes. That you don't see a lot of that now. You kind of see that. A lot of the automatic stuff that's happening automatically in decision making is happening on a website. So that's already happening not local to your device and your phone, so you're still transmitting data. But in the future, I think that people are going to be using AI. They're going to be relying on AI a lot more. And I'm not just trying to say that because everybody else is saying that. I'm just saying that because that's what's going to happen. And I think that Apple is trying to stay ahead of the game with that, because Apple's trying to get it to the point where they can offer this AI to do whatever it needs to do, whether it's, decoding your voice or making a decision for you or scheduling your calendar for you, or, anything that is using an algorithm that's already been pre-laid out, or, the concept of it has already been laid out, and the decision-making process that a computer will take care of for you has already been set up for that. Apple's going to get it to where that kind of thing is happening on your phone, not on the internet, to where the data is vulnerable. Now, the reason Apple is so, supportive of data in the consumer is because if Apple didn't have consumers buying their products, then obviously their business would disappear. If you don't have physical Apple products, then what do you need Apple for now? Well, they're starting to get TV shows, so maybe you need Apple for TV shows. But for right now, you're kind of sitting there. All you're using is hardware. Google, Amazon, Facebook, those aren't hardware companies. They're getting into hardware, but Apple started as the hardware company. So Apple needs the people to keep buying stuff, so they're going to be the people that are pro-consumer, pro-customer. And they're going to take into consideration what their investors are, wanting, because... And odds are investors are consumers as well. So same thing. You just got to keep those people happy. Otherwise, you're not going to show the success that they want to see. So, yeah, Apple is pretty much driving the boat on trying to stay ahead of the AI game. They're not heavily into the smart home game like Amazon and Google. Facebook is kind of sitting there with the portal. Not a lot going on with that. In my opinion, I think that people are hesitant about getting the Facebook portal inside of the house just because of the privacy that people trust Facebook with so far. It's not, immensely great. People are freaked out at first when they see ads based on stuff that they talk about and ads that are targeted to individuals specifically based on just their ad profile. And you can get on any social media network and find your ad profile and see what the platform is labeling you as and what they're able to sell you to a marketer or a marketing agency as. So it's pretty interesting to look at how Apple's handling data, how Google is, how Facebook, Amazon, everybody's doing something a little different. You can kind of pick up on what the company prioritizes by what they're doing, by what companies they're buying, because what kind of companies they're buying now, they're probably about to implement that type of idea into their products. So Apple's obviously investing in Xnor AI, which is the local AI processing, so you don't have to transmit the data. That's what Apple's focused on. Facebook and Google aren't prioritizing local data. What am I trying to say? Data processing. Facebook and Google don't care if you transmit the data. If there's a rule that comes out and says you're going to have to pay the user a fee to transmit their private data and access it and sell it to an advertiser, you're going to have to pay them a fee. I don't think that that's something that's happening very soon, but that's the kind of stuff that they're trying to stay away from. Whereas Apple is over here saying, no, my consumer has data. It's theirs. It's not mine. I'm a hardware company. Google and Facebook are trying to leverage data to business and to sometimes even government. And that's the biggest difference between Facebook, Google, and Apple. Facebook and Google are okay with having data recorded, storing data, and using it to leverage for business activity. Now, the part that comes hand in hand with that is you get a better internet shopping experience, as some people call it, because advertising is able to be taken care of that way. And businesses are able to find customers that are looking for exactly what they're selling. And that's how like the modern marketing game is going to happen, is by the big players like Google and Facebook. And you can even kind of see between Twitter and Facebook how Twitter stepped back and was like, we're not doing political ads. If you have money, then just because you have money doesn't mean we're going to go tell people what you want to tell them. Because the problem that they are running into, you see this with all politics from both sides, is people are claiming that they're going to make claiming their political game, claiming their game plan. And the reality is that when you when you do get elected, we all know that people don't get done what they want to get done. And, they just don't know where to draw the line with that. Like, Twitter says, well, we can't draw the line. We don't know if this person's lying about their political agenda or not. They're just paying with the money that they get from supporters to put the ad up and to make it happen. And Twitter is saying, we're not going to let that happen. If you want attention, you should be able to generate the attention for yourself by your message. This is not a bad thing to say. Facebook, at the same time, it's proven that Facebook is posting non-truthful political ads. And they're sticking to it because that's just their model of business. And Twitter has pretty much said, no, we're done. They ended it in I don't know, middle of November. Maybe it was beginning of December. It was around that time frame when Twitter made that decision. And that's the thing with the social media companies that are different from Apple and Amazon and Google, is that they have social interaction to deal with, and that's insane. Like, I'm not even going to get into social media's full-blown, into the social media industry, because it's huge. There's so much about it. And I don't even have a fully formed opinion about it yet. I mean, I do, but maybe it needs a little bit more work. And it's just kind of crazy to see Twitter and Facebook and see them kind of go in their different ways. And it's just like, all right, I get it. That's how business works. But it's just interesting to think about Apple and just to kind of observe them and see what decisions they're making. And Google has bought an app called, or a platform called App Sheets, which specializes in no-code programming, and that is going to be good for Google to offer to businesses and just individuals that are looking to automate stuff without having to have a deeper education in computer programming. And that's almost a level of automating programming for people. And even if you argue that that's going to rid of the need for people that know code and developers, I think that that's wrong. I think there's going to be a higher demand for code developers, because people are going to get into no code and they're going to, start working on something, see how powerful automation is in certain areas, whether it's your business, part of your business, your entire business, your work life, like just you at work. Like, are you automating tasks for yourself at work, or is the company automating stuff, or are you automating stuff? You're going to be able to go in by yourself and automate your own tasks with apps that you use through stuff like AppSheet and Zapier and no-code programming applications. That the back-end stuff's already done. So people are going to figure out how to do all of this and then be like, wow, I need to take it a step further and upgrade this to something that's a little more intense that maybe I'm not able to do, and maybe I need to get some code and a coder to get this done. So I don't think that we're going to be automating any code people out of jobs at all. I think if anything, it'll increase the demand. People will be able to understand, they'll be able to get a feel for what they're trying to accomplish, and obviously if you have a developer or somebody that knows code making something for you on the internet, then you're probably doing something pretty complex, and you can get somebody to make some pretty powerful tools for you. They're like an organic thing that's programmed by somebody that knows what they're doing with code is most likely going to be more powerful, depending on what it is, than no code stuff that's almost like the generic form of coding, yet still extremely effective. Very effective stuff. So, but anyways, that's what Google's getting into. I was trying to see Facebook hasn't made any huge investments lately that I wanted to bring up. Amazon, kind of talk about Amazon for a minute. If you look up Amazon stuff right now, the only thing that you're going to see is Amazon in India. Jeff Bezos was just in India and announced $1 billion as an investment into India's small to medium sized businesses. And he doesn't mean he's giving $1 million or $1 billion to all these businesses. Now, I don't know. I don't have any information on exactly where the money's going, but my guess is that a bulk of that money is going into an investment and creation of Amazon India, or an upgrade to Amazon India, and where they can build the framework and build a stronger platform that syncs up with the United States and other countries' Amazon frameworks, just so now India is enabled to participate in worldwide Amazon activities like exporting stuff and then importing things in through Amazon. And I think that that's just really just a power thing that it's a step that Amazon is taking to create the most powerful logistics platform on the planet. Like, I don't know if anybody has that claimed yet. I don't know if Amazon is that. If I were to take a guess, Amazon and maybe Alibaba, and I don't know if I could think of anything else that would fall right there yet. I mean, Walmart has a pretty good stronghold on logistics, retail logistics in America for now. I think that it's kind of going to. I think that what we're going to see is Kroger, Walmart, Amazon Whole Foods, Costco, like the whole thing. Everybody's going to kind of normalize and find their new industry standard. Everybody's going to offer grocery pickup. The big ones are going to offer the ability for third-party companies to come in and shop for you, and they're going to have their back-end technology tied in with small local delivery businesses, to where local delivery businesses are able to come in, do your shopping, execute everything for you, get it done, bring it home, put it in the door, whatever it is, whether they're delivering it to the doorstep or putting it in the fridge. I know that that's a thing with Walmart in some locations right now. They're syncing up with smart home technology, your Walmart account, so that when the Walmart employee is delivering your food or the third-party delivery person is delivering your stuff, they can come in, put it in your fridge, and you can watch them on your smart security cameras while they're doing it, kind of thing. I think that everybody's going to get to that point, and then I think that after everybody kind of balances out, everybody kind of has their thing, everybody has an account with a reward system, and everybody's going to be committed to a company, then, one of them will do something to mix it up and start the new innovation, and maybe it'll be Amazon. Maybe Amazon will come in and sweep the retail world. They kind of are. There's no more malls anymore, so, I mean, we're pretty much getting rid of malls now, right? Because nobody's going to them. I mean, there's malls in the big cities, but all the small cities across America, I think that everybody's malls are pretty much slimming down. At least the huge stores are getting knocked down and turned into small retail spaces. And all the other places inside of the mall are just shops that that's where the local whatever is, so that's how I have to go to it. That's the only reason you're going to the mall. You can go to Amazon and get on an app now, look for anything instead of going to the mall. You have social media that you can get on the internet and talk to people with and communicate thoughts. You don't even have to talk to people or text people. You can just put a meme on the internet and mean something, a thought, an idea, a concept, just anything. And that's your social interaction, and that's filling your social interaction bucket up for the day, maybe. I don't know about you. I don't want to be stuck inside doing social media for social interaction all day. So I think there's always going to be a real need for like actual social interaction, because you can't just lock yourself up inside of your house with technology and go for it. But yeah, I think that Amazon is just trying to make the most powerful logistics, the most reliable and consistent logistics network that the world's ever seen for physical product distribution. And they're doing it partnered with places like UPS and then that's a pretty fascinating thing too, the way that UPS just like overnight almost just partnered with Amazon. It sounds weird to say it. Amazon and UPS partnered so hard that overnight people just started having overnight delivery available. Next day delivery just became available for everybody at a different time. It may not be available to you yet, but I'm sure that somebody's working on making that available pretty soon. At least for me, in the middle of small town America, Indiana, it was overnight because the local UPS shop just hired, so many people to conduct all this Amazon business because I'm sure the workload was increasing, and especially with Amazon dropping FedEx and going 100% UPS for a little bit, that was probably the bump that UPS would have needed to value that investment as worthy to do, to hire all those people. So now, I didn't even get an email from Amazon that said now offering next day delivery to you. It was just part of Prime. It just happened. It's we've been trying to send stuff to you the next day for a couple of months, but now we're just going to send it to you the next day. We're not even going to tell you that it's going to happen. So that's what Amazon's working on. They're working on the logistics of physically moving things around, the partnerships involved in that. And it's fascinating to, it's just interesting to watch them get into it and see what they do next. But, man, a lot of observations here. It's kind of intense. I didn't realize how much I have to follow these 4 companies, just kind of every day, just to kind of keep up with what's going on with all this stuff, just so I can, keep myself up to date. But it's, you can, and you really see the same thing over and over again. You wait a couple weeks, you get back on, look at the feeds and see what the 2 companies are up to, 4 companies, and say, oh yeah, well that seems about right for Apple, that seems about right for Amazon, Facebook, and Google. So after all that mumbo jumbo, what would each company be? What is each company? What is their vibe? Apple is the consumer. They're for the consumer. They're for forward progress at a medium yet still aggressive level, and they still want to. Apple's not going to let themselves get to the point where they lose, the stronghold on the hardware industry. I think that they're going to stay on top of that as long as they can. I don't think that we'll see phones as long as we think that we will. I think that before too long, nobody's going to even carry phones anymore. It'll just be AirPods and Apple Watches and stuff, or whatever it ends up being. But yeah, that's Apple. Google's just a brand. I mean, Google's a company, but Google's owned by Alphabet Incorporated, which is a massive conglomerate company that owns Google as a portion of the company. And then Alphabet also is invested in a lot of other life science kind of industries. Obviously automated or artificial intelligence and the home automation. They're invested in a lot of companies around that. Basically, any way Google is pretty much just trying to find a way to control the methods and the platforms for any data that you send, receive, or change. And that sounds pretty vague, but that's pretty much all of the internet. And they don't want to control it in a Big Brother type of way. They want to control it in we have control over these 6 departments of the internet. That way we can make similar processes and make it very easy to conduct business. If we can make it easy for a single person running a business to appear like a 7-person business, a 7-person team, if we can help that person do that, then they're going to earn that person's business, and that person's business will succeed, And when businesses succeed, the company that's helping them succeed will also succeed. That's how that's going to happen. Google is creating platforms for businesses. Facebook is creating platforms for businesses. Facebook is in the attention industry, not the social media industry. The social media industry is our teams that are building apps for people to communicate. Facebook already has an app for people to communicate. It's they're always innovating it though and adding new things to it. But one of the biggest, most powerful parts of Facebook and the part that creates revenue is business advertising. Facebook makes more money off of you being a user on Facebook than they make off of you going on there to complain about whatever or to talk about your family and post your pictures and tag people and wish happy birthday. Facebook made a spot for you to go do that. That's what we think of Facebook. But what Facebook really does as business is having that, town hall that they can sell to whomever wants to buy. So that's what Facebook prioritizes. Because if they, don't make money off of ad revenue, then how are they going to make money? Because, you're not buying Facebook phones. They tried that. Nobody jumped on board. Now you have the Facebook portal. That's been out for almost a year, maybe more. Don't hear much about it. People don't really trust, from what I saw and on questions and reviews about things, people don't even want to buy it because they just don't trust what Facebook's going to do with the data that they get. So that's Google, Facebook. They're in gear for businesses to succeed and to help businesses find ways to succeed in 2020, pretty much. New ways of doing business. And, maybe it's not going to be a bad thing. Maybe everybody's going to be conducting business better. Maybe it'll be more efficient for people to conduct big business, activities and stuff like that. Actually, I kind of remember reading something about Facebook that they did for business. I'll have to go back and find that. Oh, yeah, right here. Facebook. In the next 10 years, Facebook, what they're trying to do is create very strong tools for businesses and small to medium sized businesses. They want to give you the platform to conduct business like large companies that you wouldn't have been able to to conduct business like 5 years ago, a year ago, today. Yeah, that's really what they're trying to do. They're trying to create platforms for businesses to use in the future. And that's those two, Google and Facebook. And you can really see it just by the way that they're creating these social interaction tools, hand in hand with tools for business. It's a really genius idea to leverage because you're leveraging attention from social media, from activity of going and searching, the most common things that we use on the internet. These two are the companies that are trying to convert that into powerful tools for business. So enough of that. That's all I've been saying is that same thing over and over and over again in a different flavor. Yeah. Amazon, yeah. That's all four of them. That's the big four. There's a book called The Big Four that talks about these four companies and how they've been able to leverage the way that we use their services into a business for themselves. And it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating to read it and learn about, just what they're able to do. What they're able to do. The power that they've created for themselves with the internet. And here's the thing. You can go start a company that runs on the internet today and tomorrow. And you could go try to do the same thing. It's going to be a little difficult. It might just be easier to piggyback off of what a Google and Apple and Facebook and Amazon have created. And maybe it's going to be easier to just piggyback off their success and create your own success. It could get to the point where it will be easier for you to start a business because of technology and streamlined ways of conducting business than it ever has been. And maybe you'll be able to generate more, attention, business revenue with these tools from these big companies. Maybe that's how the future is going to be. Maybe this will be the future of business. I don't see any other, things that people are saying, well, this could be the future of business about. I'm sure that these 4 companies will have a lot to do with the future of business and such. As if it hasn't the last 10 years, which it has. So, yeah, boom, boom, boom. That's, I don't know. Is that all I want to say? I think that's kind of all I want to say. We could start talking about all the legal troubles that everybody's in because, all of them are in legal troubles all the time, right? But that's another episode. Something cool to look forward to. I have ordered a Tavula smart steam oven. Yes, a countertop smart steam oven that features scan-to-cook technology. So the Tavula smart steam oven uses a barcode scanner and scans the barcode of 650, a list of 650 different groceries that you can get at the store. And the list is growing all the time. They're always adding new stuff. There's 650 different store-bought items that you can scan the barcode, and the Tavula oven knows exactly how to cook the food like the chef wants it to be cooked, right? Now, here's the awesome part. Tavula also has a food subscription service, just like any other food subscription box, but there's a twist to that as well. The Tavula meals come made specifically for the Tavula oven that you can scan the barcode on, and the Tavula oven knows exactly how to prepare the meals for you. It cooks it with the proper amount of steam, time, and heat, and the food comes out exactly like the chef's intended. And I'm looking forward to getting mine set up and showing you how it works because I don't know about you, but I spend a lot of time in the kitchen. I'm not very efficient in the kitchen trying to cook food for myself, and I end up making a lot of, wasting a lot of food just because buying food at the store all the time and trying to make individual meals and saving food the right way and then the right portions and everything. It gets very, it's a hot mess sometimes. And I'm looking forward to being able to save time while bringing some streamlined food preparation into my kitchen. So I'll show you about that a little bit more once I get it set up. If you want to go learn about the Tavula smart steam oven, then you can check out the link below and go learn about it. And once I get mine set up and I show everybody what it's all about, and I've used it a couple times, I'll give everybody a referral link to save some money on picking one up for themselves. So if you're looking forward to learning a little bit more about some smart food technology in the kitchen, then stay tuned because here in the next couple weeks, I'll have the Tavula smart steam oven. So I can start cooking with a little bit of steam and a little bit of magic. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope you are too. If not, then, maybe you can just listen to me talk about a robot food cooker, which will be pretty cool to see what people are doing with technology and to see what kind of possibilities are out there for you to maybe implement or somebody around you to. So, yeah, thanks for sitting here listening to an update about the Big Four and my future future delivery that I'll be unboxing and showing everybody. Thank you, everyone. I will talk to you next time about whatever we end up talking about. I don't know what it's going to be yet, but I'm sure I'll find out soon. So thanks, everybody. Share this on all of the internets. You can find me facebook.com/Cody.vot. You can find me on Twitter, twitter.com/Cody_vot, and on Instagram at Cody.vot. Click any of the links, share them with anybody. That's much appreciated when you're able to share this with people. It's very powerful to get to build a larger audience to be able to share this type of information with. And the more people that know about this type of technology, the quicker that innovation happens in general. So yeah, so share this with your friends. Go check us out on YouTube. Automated Blogcast. You can go to automatedblogcast.com and share anything from there, and or just check some stuff out and stuff like that. So anyways, thanks everybody for listening. I'll see you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.